Good day, my dear student. Today, we're going to talk about the lesson 3, the artist and his medium. Last time, we're done discussing about the lesson 2, subject and content. Now, we're going to move on to the next topic, which is the artist and his medium. So, I expect that it will going to be a shorter than the previous one. That is because kakatapos nyo nga lamang ng inyong preliminary examination like 20 minutes ago. Kaya medyo nag-a-adjust tayo ngayon, na medyo binilisan ko or bibilisan ko ang aking pag-lecture sa ngayon. Alright, the artist and his medium. Now, this part of art appreciation focuses more on the technical aspect of the course, which refers more on the process of creating the artwork, the material and equipment needed, the techniques applied as well as how to preserve so that it can be appreciated and utilized for a long period of time. Alright? So, now let's proceed to the topic itself, the artist and his medium. Well, the previous discussion focused on the fundamentals of what art expression is and the artist's choice of art subject. With this information, the learner can now proceed to the more technical aspect of art appreciation, which is knowing a bit more about the process of creating the artwork. So the array of materials that can be used, the techniques involved, and manner in which the work can be preserved so that it can be enjoyed and shared with others for a long time. Now, let's move on to the very first terms on this particular topic, the artist and his medium, which is the process of art production. So, process of art production, as we may see here, it can refer for the making of something or to a final product like a theatrical performance. So, the process of art production. Now, next, it can be the process of bringing a song or musical to life or honing that work to perfection. Production might bring out images of factory production lines or even the theories of scientists and philosophers after the mind has conceived it through a certain process. So, production is said to be is at the heart of making art. So artists and theorists have long acknowledged its importance as both an artistic action and an idea to be explored. So, and as the role of production has shifted in our lives, so we have the ways in which artists have responded to it. Now, the focus here is the process of art production. So, kung babasahin natin dito, ang pinaka parang main idea ng process of art production refers to the making of something. So, kumbaga sa mga previous lesson natin, para siyang passive. Kasi it talks about the knowledge that you need to have before making or creating an art. Now, this time, this point of time is making na. So, talagang active na. So, kailangan ikaw mismo, ang gumalaw, ikaw mismo ang gumawa ng artwork. Now, it can be the process of bringing a song or a musical to life or honing that work to perfection. Bibigyan mo na ngayon ng buhay. So, parang ganun ang idea, Yung isang artwork, in a way na ikaw na mismo magagawa at bibigyan mo siya dapat ng buhay. Alright. Production might bring out images of factory production line or even the theories of scientists and philosophers after the mind has conceived it through a certain process na sinasawag natin dito. Now, under ng sinasawag natin na production of or process of art production na sinasabi natin din so we have first the medium. Sige, medium. Actually, ito yung mga basic lamang ng mga terminology. So, nakalagay dito, when an artist is ready to express himself in art, okay, so, and to give shape to his vision, his first thought would be on what medium to use. So, it talks about kung ano yung materials na gagamitin mo. Kapag ka sinabing medium, he can choose whatever materials he thinks will best embody his work and the process in accomplishing it, as long as his work will not cause harm to the environment and to people, then it is fine. His choice of medium and the process that he uses should be guided by the standard of a responsible and conscientious artist. Alright? Now, the idea is that there can be an influence by a certain consideration of an artist's choice of medium, like the availability of the material, the nature and special characteristic of the material, and the idea that he wants to communicate. That is, an artist's choice of medium is usually influenced by that certain consideration. So, ulitin ko, the availability of the material, the nature and special characteristic of the material, and the idea that he wants to communicate. Alright. Now, this medium, yun nga, refers to the material that an artist uses to communicate his ideas, feelings, and imagination. Okay? So, ayan, So, kahit na sabihin na natin gamit lang yan, So, it is a way din para makipag-communicate ka. Alright? Through the use of medium na gagamitin mo sa iyong artwork na gagawin. Now, so sige, huwag na natin masyadong ipaliwanag pa. Let's move on to the next. The technique. The technique of the artwork shows the level of familiarity with the medium being manipulated. So, kumbaga, yun nga, may kanya-kanya tayong technique sa paggawa ng isang artwork na sinasabi natin. A good artist makes a medium work to produce effect that other artists cannot attain by any other means. Meaning to say, we have our own uniqueness on how we create an art. So, nakabase rin kasi din yan sa knowledge mo ng iyong material or medium at saka sa skill mo. Yan. Yung technique na yan na sinasabi natin. So, well, a wise artist knows that he should not stop learning. He should let himself and his art evolve with a changing society without sacrificing his style and individuality as an artist. So, that's belong to the technique. May kanya-kanya tayong technique, So, ayan. Now, let's move on to the next. We have curation. Ano ba kapag sinabi natin curation? Derived from the word curar or curer, which means to take care. It is a process that involves managing, overseeing, and assembling or putting together a presentation or exhibit for some type of artistic collection. So ito, he is the one who decides on what object to select to be a part of the collection for exhibit. So siya yung nag-organize din ng mga artwork para magbigay, sabihin na natin na collection para ma-present siya sa isang, for example, museum. Alright? Curator ang tawag, di ba? Sila yung parang kumbaga sa mga traveler. sila yung mga tour guide na sinasabi natin din. Isa na yon, pero para lang, nire-relate lang natin, pero hindi yun ang eksaktong idea. Pero isa lang yun sa parang masasabi natin na characteristic ng curation or curator, ano? Pagiging curator. Aside from organizing yung mga artwork para gawing collection, sila rin yung siyempre nag-guide, ano? Okay, yung kung ano ba ito, about saan ba ito, yung mga art na yan. So, sila yung mga tinatawag natin na curator. Okay, so, next, I think okay na tayo dito sa curator, ano? So, curator decide on which artwork or historical object should included in the collection. So, well, after the object had been chosen and gathered, the collection must be culled to fit within the space in the gallery. Okay, so the purpose of this is to make sure that the works are arranged for it to make sense and thus give the exhibit a holistic presentation. Okay, so arrangement of the pieces influences how the exhibit interpreted by the patron's viewer. So after arranging the pieces, the curator then provide context for each pieces. Kaya sila na nga nag-guide, ano? This context may be in text or any visual and auditory form placed near the object that may provide background clarity to the piece. Yan ang tinatawag natin na curation or dun sa tao mismo ay curator. Now, let's move on to the next agad. We have the different media of the visual arts. First, we have the graphic or two-dimensional art. Diba? Kapag sinabi natin two-dimensional art, we have yung mga visual arts such as mga painting, drawing, yung mga ganon. Whereas kapag three-dimensional art, pumapasok na siya yung mga sculpture. Okay, kasi mukha talagang totoo, ano? Kaya nga 3D. O yan. Yan ang pagkakaibahan ng dalawa, two-dimensional art and we have three-dimensional. Tsaka yung mga architecture, ano? Kabilang yan sa three-dimensional art. Whereas dito, two-dimensional, itong mga visual art lang na makikita natin, yung mga painting, drawing, and related. Now, dito sa graphic or two-dimensional art, we have drawing. Yun na nga, ang pinakauna sa atin yung drawing. Ito ay common na naman. So, hindi na natin kailangan pa masyadong ipaliwanag kung ano ba yung drawing. So, nakalagay dito, drawing, the fundamental skill needed in the visual arts. Okay, yung drawing. Now, under ng drawing, we have a different media for drawing. Media or yung medium. Okay? Yung kagamitan, material use. Now, we have first the pencil made of graphite which come in different hardness from soft to hard or thickness from thick to needle-like. Ngayon, ari kasi yung pencil, ano, regardless of the brand, are usually labeled 2B, 4B, 6B, which indicate the softness of the lead, the higher the B number. And the softer the lead and the darker is the tone and line it can create. Now, makikita natin, di ba, may mga, sige, papakita natin mamaya kung ano ba yung binabanggit natin. Dito muna tayo sa mga shading techniques. Una, may tinatawag tayo na hatching. So, hindi sneezing ha, hatching. So, a series of thin parallel lines that run in the same direction. Sige, basahin muna natin bago natin ipakita yung mismong example ng mga shading techniques na nakalagay din eh. A series of thin parallel lines and crisscrossing it with another set of thin parallel lines. Yan ay cross-hatching. Whereas stippling uses the sharp point of the pencil to make dot patterns in some parts of the drawing. And the last is blending, maybe accomplished by using the finger or a paper stamp or gradually change the tone from dark. Okay, so now, dark to light. Ito pala kulang, ano? So, mas lumiliwanag, ano, kapag ka blending. So, sige, paliwanag natin na mas maayos. Okay? Itong mga shading technique na sinasabi. Ayan. Kung makikita natin sa, at ito, ano, presentation, hatching muna. Ari kasing hatching, parallel line. Meaning, isang direction lang siya. Same direction. For example na lang, ano, isang direction lang na ganito, guhit na yan, ano, guhit, guhit, guhit. Ganyan lang, ano, mismo. Direction na yan. So, yan, hindi nagbabago. Kung mapapansin natin. So, isang parallel lines lang, same direction, ano, na sinasabi. Yan. So, ayan yung hatching. Ngayon, ano naman yung cross-hatching? Ito naman, criss-cross. Okay? Yun ang parang sa aking pagkakatanda, criss-crossing, ano? Yan. In which, nagkakaroon na ng, ang tawag dito, yung nagmi-meet yung dalawang lines. Ano nga ba ang tawag doon? Hindi naman integration eh. So, something like that, ano? So, anyway, yun ang cross-hatching. Nagmi-meet yung dalawang lines. Okay. So, in which nagkakaroon ng creation ng parang cross. Kaya nga criss-crossing, ano? So, mas solid ito, ano? Kumpara dito sa hatching. So, ito, for example, kanare ha. Dito, line na re. Okay, ganyan ang line. And then, meron pang kabaligtaran na line. So, parang combination na, for example, itong ganitong line, X, or pa-slant, ano? And then, pa-X yung isa. So, para makapag-create pala ng X, I mean. So, yung isa line, ganito lang. And then, pagka-cross-hatching, okay, opposite side. So, kaya nagkakaroon ng ganun, ano? So, hindi ko lang alam kung masyadong nakikita ba na malinaw dito, kaya medyo pinapaliwanag natin ng ayos, ano? Okay, pero later on, mas makikita natin na mas maliwanag. So, ayan, ano? Cross-hatching. Now, stippling. Ano naman to stippling? Uses the sharp point of the pencil. So, tuldok-tuldok lang mismo. That patterns. Yun lang mismo. Para sa akin, mahirap ito. In a way na masyadong effort ang gagamitin mo dito. Okay? Dito sa stippling. Now, we have blending or smudging. Ito naman, para mas mukhang maging realistic ang iyong drawing, ang mga expert, ano? Na kapag medyo mataas na level ng iyong pagdodrawing, kalimitan yan talaga, no? Lalo na kapag realistic or hyper-realistic, okay, nagpo-portrait ka, nagdodrawing ka, ang iyong ginagawa. So, ganyan, ano, lumalabas. Yung mga blending or smudging. Smudging pa lang other term for blending. Okay? So, yan ay pinapahira ng mga, let's say, paper. For example, ano, meron kang pencil na dark, something dark, ano? So, ngayon, para mas maging light siya, so, kukuskusin mo siya ng paper or damit, something like that, ano? Okay? Mga ganun. So, yan. Understandable naman yan. Now, itong scrambling ay wala dito. Pero yan ang idea, no? Parang kulot-kulot siya. So, lahok-lahok na. Now, sige, let's proceed to the next. Ito na, sinasabi natin kanina. Parang presentation, ano? Ng bawat lapis. So, para detalyado talaga tayo. Para mas maunawaan yung sinasabi natin. Now, kagaya na sabi ko dati, di ba, kapag ako, nung nagsimula ako ng drawing, ngayon, nakadiscover ako na, ito pala dapat ang ginagamit kapag nagdodrawing ng portrait, ano? Ng mga itsura, mga muka, pag realistic. Alright? Now, kung mapapansin nyo dito, ewan ko lang kung masyadong kita ba dito, hindi, ano? So, ari ay B. Ari nga P, hindi ko alam ibig sabihin ng B. Basta B yan, ano? And then, sa pataas ng pataas, 2B, 3B, 4B, 5B, 6B. So, kung makikita nyo yung tip ng pencil na ito, pakapal ng pakapal. So, kung babalikan natin, ano, with regards to the pencil, okay, pencil regardless of the brand are usually labeled 2B, 4B, 6B, which indicate the softness of the lead. The higher the B, sa pagtaas ng B, asa na yan? So, pagtaas ng B, okay, so, indicates the higher the B, so, yan, ulitin natin, ano, paulit-ulit na, 2B, 4B, 6B, which indicates the softness of the lead. So, the higher the B number, sa pagtaas ng number ng B, the softer the lead and the darker is the tone. Ano nga, malambot nga siyang isulat, kumbaga, no, or drawing, pero sa pagdilim, sa pagdark. Kaya ito, kapag ka mahusay kang artist, ano, gumagamit ka talaga ng iba't ibang, sabihin na natin, tawag dito, mga labeled ng Staedtler pencil or graphite pencil. Di lang naman Staedtler, ano. Kung mga idea, basta graphite pencil siya, no, na may mga ganyan, mga B, yan, 3B. So, sa pagtaas, sa pagdark, so, are common, for example, ito ginagamit ko 6B nung sa buhok na mismo. Nung ako nagda-drawing sa pagkakaalala ko, yung buhok na mismo kasi, syempre, di ba, maitim ang buhok. Yan, mga ganun. So, ito naman yung mga tiny detailed. For example, yung mga eyes. Pero depende pa rin yan, ano? So, yan. Ito naman, yung mga light laang. For example, yung mga edges ng mga mukha, ano? So, ayan, ginagamit ko rin siya, yung mga HB na yan, ano? 2H, 3H. Pero sa pagkakatanda ko, ginagamit ko lang dito F at saka HB dito sa taas. Tsaka 2H, yung mga ganun. Hindi na masyado din. Masyado ng light kasi ito. Masyado ng soft. Okay? Yan. So, ayan ha. Yan ang representation natin ng graphite pencil. Kung paano siya gamitin, kung gaano siya katapang ang kulay. Okay? Sa pagtaas. Alright, so, I hope na clear na sa inyo. And going back doon sa ating sinasabi kanina, no, doon sa shading techniques, we have the hatching. Okay, isa lang ang kanilang direction. Pag ganun lang, ano, right? For example, hindi ko alam. Pero parang dating, pa-right lamang. Isang direction lang. For example, right lang. Okay, mga ganun. So, whereas, ito naman ay cross-hatching. Ito na yung magkalaban, opposite side. Pinag-combine na, no? So, pinag-combine na hatching, nakabaliktaran ng hatching. Okay? Kaya parang naging cross yan, no? So, parang naging thread-like. Now, dito sa ating, ito na siguro yung blending. If I'm not mistaken, ito yung blending. Yan. So, makikita natin kapag binilend mo siya, mas nagiging light yung color. Kumakalat. Okay? So, next, we have stippling. If I'm not mistaken. Stippling ito uses the sharp point of the pencil to make that pattern in some part of the drawing. Okay? So, ayan. Mahirap ito. Aring mga dot na ito. Talagang matrabaho yan. Kapag kaya kayo nagawa niyan, for example, sasabihin nyo, pagod na ang engineering student ninyo. Sasabihin ng ganun, ano? Kasi napagod na mismo, no? Mismong talagang effort sa pagdodrawing kasi puro tuldok-tuldok. Okay. So, para ito, mas mukhang realistic, blending ang ginagamit natin. Now, drawing using graphite pencil as a finished product is best done on cold pressed paper or paper with some surface texture. Meaning to say, kapag ka nag-drawing ka using graphite dun sa mga atin kanina dito, ano? Using this pencil, mas maigi na gumamit ka ng ibang paper, of course, ano? Lalo na dun sa mga nagsisimula pa lang dyan mag-drawing. Okay? So, ako nga nung nagsisimula pa, kaya nasabi ko, nagtaka ako. Sabi ko, wow. Nung una, ginagamit ko lang mga simpleng paper. We have bond paper, yung mga ganyan, uslo paper yata din. And then, nagtaka ako nung gumamit ako ng vellum board. Okay, yung medyo makinis ang texture niya na tamang-tama sa mga ganitong graphite pencil. Okay, lalo na kapag kami mga blending na, no? So, talagang para mas mukhang magiging realistic na yung drawing kapag ganun ang ginawa mo. Bukod sa gumamit ka ng pencil na talagang premium, ano, mga ganito. Pero hindi naman ito premium. Pero parang idea, ibang talagang pencil. Ay gumamit ka rin mismo ng pagdodrawingan. Yung texture mismo ng paper. Ano, sinasaalang-alang natin. Okay, now, next, we have ink. Sige, basahan na lang muna natin ito. Yan, lumabas agad yung lettering, the art of letters. Ito yung mga pagkakaiba, no? So, it is one of the oldest materials for drawing that is still in use. It allows for a great variety of qualities depending on the tools and techniques used in the application. So, ink. So, yan naman ay common na, no? Pinagagamitan natin ng ink. Okay, such as mga lettering, yan, kung mapapansin nyo sa my right side, lettering, the art of drawing letters, yung pala mga pagkakaiba nito, no? Calligraphy, the art of writing letters. Yan. Typography, the art of using letters. So, yan ay madali na naman intindihin. So, hindi na natin masyadong bibigyan ng pansin. Well, pen and ink drawing are characterized by controlled and uniform lines. Kasi nga, hindi mo na siya mabubura, no? So, kailangan, yan, mga ganun, ano? Pagdating sa ink, whereas kapag pencil ang ginamit mo, okay, so pwede mo pa siyang ma-configure or ma-modify. Okay, yun ang advantage natin dyan. Now, ink is used in making the beautiful handwriting produced in calligraphy. Okay, so nakikita natin, which in itself is an art. So, part yun ng art yung calligraphy na rin. Okay, yung kagandahan ng the art of writing letters. Okay, para mas mapaganda yung pagsusulat ng mga letters. Yung calligraphy siya, papasok. Now, let's move on to the next. We have pastel. Pastel na tayo. Ari, common din, ano? So, basahin na lang muna natin yung tinatawag nating definition nito ng pastel. So, nakalagay dito, ano? Pastel, this is composed of dry pigment held together by gum, binder, and compressed into sticks. So, we have kind of pastel, pastel, hard pastel, and oil pastel. Ito yung common, di ba? Yung oil pastel. Actually, di ba nakagamit ng mga soap at saka hard pastel, oil pastel lang mismo. Ito kasi, oil pastel, ano siya, syempre, dense siya, makapal, at oily, syempre naman, ano. Mas ano siya, mas magandang tingnan, ano, yung oil pastel. Pero ang disadvantage lang nito, ano, mas madaling magdumi ang itsura kapag oil pastel lang ginamit mo, no? Okay? Kapag for example na bigla mong accidentally, di ba, ano na, finished product na, no? Nakapag-paint ka na, no? Using oil pastel. Now, accidentally medyo na-touch mo siya ng konti. Mahirap na. Okay? Mahirap na yun, ano? So, mahirap nang ibalik sa dati. Okay, yung mga ganun, ano? Medyo dense kasi siya, or mas dense talaga, no? When it comes to oil pastel na sinasabi natin. Now, ang itsura naman mga hard pastel, soft pastel, kung makikita natin, parang halos pares lang siya, no? So, yung iba nga idea, yung pastel ay pencil. Soft pastel yata yun. Pero, pwede rin siyang hard pastel, not mistaken. Okay, so yan ang mga itsura ng ating pastel para ma-distinguish nyo kung ano yung pagkakaiba ng tatlong ito. Okay, so from the word itself, syempre, so pastel, malambot lang. Okay, whereas hard pastel, matigas siya kung gamitin. Yung point niya, no, kapag iyong ina-apply sa surface ng paper. So, yan. So, hard pastel siya. Now, an artist who is comfortable in using pastel has a mastery of the skill needed to manipulate this medium. Kasi hindi biro ang paggamit ng pastel, kaya kailangan talaga expert ka. Kailangan talaga marunong ka gumamit ng pastel. Mahirap kasi yan, burahin nga naman, ano? So, ayan. So, now we go to the next, which is the pastel techniques. The same thing, we have stippling. So, ganun din, halos naman din ang idea, no? The same as drawing. Ito lang naman ay small marks. Okay? So, sa halip na dots, medyo kunting maliit na line, stippling. Using pastel of different color to produce small mark, thus creating a pattern. Now, next, we have feathering. Using the point of the pastel to make parallel strokes, creating a feather-like effect. So, itong feathering na ito, from the word itself, feather. So, parang pinagtagni-tagni para yung hibla. Okay, magmukhang balahibo. Yan, ang idea ng feathering na sinasabi. Feathering. Feathering. Anyway, next is scumbling. It is like layering but using pastel. The side of the pastel is slightly drawn on top of an existing color but still making the color of the first layer visible. So, yan ang sinasabi natin na scumbling. So, ito, ulitin natin sa feathering, apply single or multiple color in one direction. Okay. So, ito na mga scumbling na sinasabi, parang idea, block the actual art. Kaya nagmumukhang cluttered siya or taklob. Okay? Medyo malabo kasi itong scumbling na ito, no? Kung titingnan natin. Now, next we have impasto. Hindi impacto, impasto. The technique of thickly applying the pastel by pressing it hard on the paper, creating an opaque effect. So, ito yung mga madidiin mag-apply ng, for example, pastel. Talagang kitang-kita mo, no? Kaya magka-create siya ng opaque effect or solid effect, ano? Impasto. Okay. Next is graffito. Is graffito, no? Nakalagay dito, technique that applies a thick deposit of pastel on the supported using a blunt pen to scrape it up to reveal the underlying color. Siguro sa inyo hindi familiar yung salitang graffito, but pag nakita nyo yung example, yung pala. Sabi kayo na gano'n. So now, tingnan natin yung example mismo ng mga pastel techniques na sinasabi ko kanina. First, we have stippling. Ito na nga, yung parang dot-dot din siya, pero medyo may line siya. Parang gano'n. So, yan ang stippling. Now, we have move to the next, we have feathering. Ito daw yung tinatawag na feathering, if I'm not mistaken. So, ayan ang tinatawag natin feathering. Okay. Medyo malabo siya. Next is scumbling. Narito ba siya? Ayan, scumbling. Parang ang idea niyan ay, okay, medyo siya, medyo, di ba, yung layer lang mismo. First layer na nakikita natin dito, no? So, parang tinatanggal yung, para hindi siya mas mukhang maging makapal, scumbling. So, it is like layering but using pastel, the side of the pastel is slightly drawn on top of an existing color but still making the color of the first layer is visible, scumbling. Now, let's proceed to the next. We have impasto, not impacto. So, inuulit ko ito, impasto, applying the pastel by pressing it hard. Talagang madidiin ang pagkukulay niyan, ano? Kung mapapansin natin, parang pangit tingnan. Pero depende pa rin yan sa art, ano? Sa pagkakagawa. Now, itong graffito, ito na. Ito yung parang inuukit mo. For example, nag-apply ka ng color. Okay, certain color, pastel. O kung ano man. Ngayon, ang gagawin mo, uukitin mo lang. Mga ganyan, using blunt pen or walang tinta. Walang tinta ang pen, siyempre naman, para maukit mo. So, ayan, ang example lang is graffito. So, ayan ay para isa sa, nakikita kong common na rin, Maganda rin siya, parang creative din siyang tingnan. Yung is graffito. Parang idea, kung i-connect natin dun sa mga sand art, Mga ganun. Anyway, sige, baka mapatagal tayo. Next na kagad, charcoal. We have an organic medium that comes from burnt wood. So, itong charcoal, siyempre, ay uling. Okay, nanggaling sa uling, Pinang-drawing. Literally. Pero siya ay, siyempre, hindi lang basta uling. So, talagang minafactured siya, So, kaya makikita natin dito sa charcoal, alright, compressed charcoal. We have kinds of charcoal. We have compressed charcoal made from loose charcoal mixed with a binder and pressed into stick. Sige, basahin na lang natin, manufactured charcoal, the bind charcoal which comes in tin stick that is easy to blend and erase. Yun ang two kinds of charcoal na sinasabi natin. Now, let's move on to the next. We have paper. Okay, very basic. The most common surface used in two-dimensional art. Okay, next. Types of paper. We have hot press paper, smooth. Ayan na nga sinasabi ko, nakadepende sa ating paper na ginagamit. Yung ginagamit ko para mas maganda, yung smooth. Okay? So, ayan. Napapabilang dun yung mga vellum board. Now, we have cold pressed paper had moderate texture. Ito, raw paper has the most texture. Has the most texture? So, yun na nakalagay dito, Has the most texture. Anyway, parang idea siguro rough. Ayun na nga, rough nga pala, So, nakalagay na rin pala dito mismo, Raw paper. Medyo maganit, kumbaga, Kumbaga parang ngipin. Baku-baku. Yan, ganun. Anyway, bako-bako yung texture, maliliit na texture, Or dun sa texture, maliliit na parang strand. ng paper. Now, let's move on to the next. We have painting. So, sige, bilisan lang natin. Kasi kapag ka mga common na, kailangan na natin bilisan. Ano? Hindi ko na kailangan na ipaliwanag na masyadong buong detalye. Alright, now next, painting. It is the process of applying paint onto a smooth surface or a ground support like paper, cloth, canvas, wood, or plaster. Okay, ito yung painting na tinatawag natin. Now, we have pigment. Pigment, part of the paint that gives color. Ito na yun, ano, pigment na tinatawag. Itong pigment, it is said to be, it is a fine powder which was grounded from clay, stone, mineral, vegetable matter, or produced by a chemical process. Okay? And going back dun sa sinatawag natin paper ha. Paper is said to be the most commonly used ground for watercolor. Kaya ito na tayo dito ano, sa watercolor. Paper is the most commonly used ground for watercolor. So ito hindi na bago sa inyo, basahin na lang natin. Pigments are mixed with water and applied to paper. So combination ng pigments, yung powder, together with the water, kaya watercolor, na in-apply sa paper. Now, next, gouache. Gouache. Pero actually, ang basa dito ay gouache. Okay? Sang-ayon sa Merriam-Webster. Gouache, number 2. The pigment has been mixed with the water or with water and added with the chalk-like materials to give in an opaque effect. Now, ano nga ba itong gouache na ito? Kung makikita natin dito, no? Para siyang watercolor na hinaluan ng chalk-like materials para mas mukhang solid yung texture, yung kulay, yung artwork na pinapakita. Gouache ang tawag dyan. Sige, ito to give you an example, ariyan. So, yun daw ang example ayon sa module. Next, we have oil paints. Pigments are mixed with oil as its binder. It is a dense painting medium and give rich, beautiful colors discovered by Flemish painter Jan van Eyck in 15th century. Ito yung oil paints, ano? Siyempre, parang sa oil pastel, ano? Parang dense siya, makapal siya, no? So, well, this medium was discovered by a Flemish painter Jan van Eyck in the 15th century when he suspended color pigment in linseed oil. Okay? So, the ideal surface for oil paints are canvas and wood. Okay? So, the painter can apply oil paint in thin glazes of smooth subtle strokes or thick impasto to produce a rough surface which give the work the element of texture. Well, konting explanation with regards to oil paints. So, oil paints is a dense painting medium and gives rich, beautiful colors. It is a flexible medium that is slow to dry. Okay? So, hindi siya madaling matuyo, which allows the painting to be changed and work over period drying completely. Oil painting take at least 3 days to dry. Depending on the thickness of the paint, a coat of varnish is usually applied to protect the paint after it dries. So, yun pala, ari nga, oil painting na ari is said to be pinakamatagal yata, no? Or pinakamatagal bago matuyo. Oil painting nga eh. So, it takes 2 or 3 days daw bago matuyo. Kaya, mahirap siya, no? Medyo sensitive. Okay? Ang paggagawa ng oil painting na sinasabi natin. Now, let's move on to the next. We have tempera. So, ano ba pag sinabing tempera? Pigment is mixed with egg yolk, sometimes with the white as binder. So, ginamitan mismo ng egg yolk, ano, habang nagpipinta, aside from other medium, ano, kagamitan or ingredients sa pagpipinta, ay, ang main niya ay egg yolk. Okay? So, yun ang ingredient. Now, let's move on to the next. We have fresco. Pigment is mixed with water and applied on a portion of the wall with wet plaster. It is used for mural painting. Ito ay yung mga pangmalakihan. Itong tinatawag natin na fresco. For example, ito, ano, yung the creation, ano, of Adam. Okay, ito yung kamay daw ni Adam, o representation, and kamay ni God. So, nag-meet. So, nagkaroon ng creation. Now, so, ang idea ng fresco ay yung mural painting. Which mean ito, makikita nyo, ewan ko, sa mga church. Ewan ko. So, depende pa rin kasi yan sa church. Ano? So, commonly kasi nakikita sa church is that yung collage. Collage nga ba yun? O mosaic? Mosaic pala, mosaic. If I'm not mistaken. Mosaic yun, not collage. So, later on, didiscussin natin yung mosaic. So, yun ang nakikita sa church. Pero sa ibang mga church, yung mga painting mismo, no, makikita natin. Okay? Papatak siya sa fresco. Kasi mural paintings, no, malakihan talaga. Basta yung makita nyo mga malakihan, fresco yan. Now, next, we have acrylic. So, nakalagay dito, modern medium with synthetic paint using acrylic emulsion as binder. Yan, acrylic. Maganda ito, no? So, di ba kapag sinabi natin acrylic, related siya sa plastic. So, ewan ko paano nagawa siya. Pero acrylic, ano? Ang kanilang mismong material na ginamit sa pagbibenta. Now, let's move on to the next. Ito na nga, yung mosaic na sinasabi natin. So, wall or floor decoration, nakalagay dito, ano? Wall or floor decoration made of small tiles or irregularly cut pieces of colored stone or glass called tesserae. So, under siya ng mosaic na sinasabi natin. Now, sinasabi ko, ano, the most beautiful mosaic are found in churches and public building. Just like frescoes, mosaic cannot be moved. Okay? So, yan. So, for classroom arts and crafts, however, mosaic arts can be done on paper or cardboard using seed, eggshell, punch art paper, and paste glued or paste to a pattern or drawing. So, hindi ko alam kung nung high school gumawa kayo ng ganito. Pero parang common siya, no? So, sa art class ninyo, ang idea, itong mosaic ay, for example, pinaggupit-gupit, ano? Then, pinag-combine mo. So, mga ganun. So, kahit yung mga eggshell, yung basag-basag na eggshell, yan. So, pwede makagawa ng or makakreate ng isang artwork using that, ano? So, ayan. Now, let's move on to the collage. So, ito kasi mosaic, kagaya na sabi ko, makikita mo siya sa churches. Okay? Ayan. Now, collage. Ito naman collage, parang mukhang mosaic din, ano? Pero sige, bigyan natin na linaw. Ito kasi medyo maliit lang yung picture. No? So, nakalagay dito, collage derived from a French word collier, which means to stick. This is a technique of making art by gluing or pasting on firm support material for found object. Meaning, yung mga talagang nakikita mo, no, na mga picture, pinag-combine mo para mag-create ng isang artwork. Ang pagkakaiba lang nito, ano, yung mismong picture ang kukunin mo. Okay? Pinag-combine mo siya. Something like that. So, yan ang tinatawag nating collage, ano? So, yan. So, or mismong talagang actual, ano? For example, actual na object, ngayon dinikit mo. So, yan, collage yan. Papatak yan sa collage. Kaya nga, pasting, ano? Pasting or gluing on firm support materials or found object. Ano sinasabi natin? Now, let's move on to the next. I think this is the last. Printmaking, process used for making reproduction of graphic works. O, ito na tayo. Dito na tayo sa, kumbaga, printmaking. Doon sa kanina, collage. Kumbaga, ang idea, put a picture together, yung mga old photograph na rin. Yan. So, ngayon, ano nga, making na tinatawag natin. Bigyan natin ng pansin, ano? Nakalagay dito, process used for making reproduction of graphic works, allow for the repeated transfer of a master image for a printing plate matrix on to a surface. From the word itself, print. Okay, nagpiprint ka lamang. So, pero it is a type of art. Now, bigyan natin ng liwanag kung ano ba itong printmaking. Or, ito muna, ating, kumbaga, techniques. Printmaking techniques na sinasabi natin dito. So, basahin natin muna. Una, relief painting or raised, the oldest method of printmaking. The technique involves cutting away certain parts of the surface and leaving the rest part to produce the image. So ito common to. Kung makikita natin, sige. Basahin muna natin yung mga definition. Now we have intaglio printing or depress. Parang kabaligtaran, ano? Instead of the surface of the plate for the image, the lines of the image are cut or incised to a metal plate. So next, surface printing or flat includes all process in which printing is done from a flat surface. Now, bigyan natin na linaw. Ito, mismong example. Aring unang are, kung makikita natin, ito ang example ng relief painting. So, kumbaga nakausbong, nakalitaw. So, kumbaga inuukit mo. Inuukit. 'Di ba? Di ko alam. Kung nung dati nagpagawa sa inyo sa art class na for example, yung sabon. Okay? Yung sabon ngayon, uukitin mo yung sabon para mag-create ng something, na artwork. Or, for example, kahit letter. Okay? Para makapag-create ka ng letter. So, diyan papatak yung relief painting na sinasabi natin, no? So, ayan, ano? Example ng relief painting. Now, next, we have intaglio printing. Ito kasi intaglio painting, actually, intaglio printing, ito ay medyo complex siya or pinaka-complex among these three sa nabanggit, ano? Itong intaglio printing. So, ang una, relief printing. Printing ito, hindi painting. Napasabi na ako ng painting, ano? Kasi, yan. So, anyway, ang intaglio printing, going back para may palabanan na natin kaagad. Nakalagay dito, instead of the surface of the plate for the image, the lines of the image are cut or incised to a metal plate. So, kumbaga ang idea dito, binabakat. Ari kasi, medyo complex siya. So, mas maganda siguro kung tingnan nyo yung mismong tutorial nito, no? Kung paano ginagawa yung intaglio printing. Mahirap siyang ipaliwanag, ano? In words. Pero kapag tinignan yung visual representation nito, malalaman nyo. Pero parang ganito ang idea niyan, ano? Yan ay nakabakat. Okay, sa isang metal. Okay? Parang ganon. So, ginagamitan pa siya ng mga machine or something like that. So, and then ina-applyan siya ng parang ink, something like that, no? So, medyo complex siya. And then, after nyan, so, ilalagay siya or ipapatong sa paper. So, pagkapatong sa paper, babakat siya. Okay? Something like that. So, medyo complex siya kung titingnan natin, ano? So, intaglio printing ang tawag dyan. Okay? So, now, and the last is the surface printing. So, nakalagay dito, includes all processes in which printing is done from a flat surface. Ito pinaka-common, actually, among those print making techniques. For example, tinatawag natin print, ano nga ba yun? Screen printing or silk screen printing ang tawag, in which yung mga nagtatatak ng mga damit. Okay? So, yun ang lumalabas. Okay? So, kumbaga yun nga ang pinaka-idea ng ating printmaking, ano? Kumbaga, hindi naman mismong gawa mo, kundi ito ay something external na piniprint mo lang on some different methods. Okay? Like this, ano? Sa ating mga nakita. Now, kung makikita natin dito, may mga parts siya, no? Yung surface printing, flat siya. Combination daw ito ng dalawa. Okay? Combination ito ng dalawa. So, yan. Basta kung makikita nyo yung way kung paano, or method kung paano gawin itong intaglio. So, maintindihan nyo. So, may mga parang ganito din. Pero ito, combination of the two, relief printing and intaglio printing is surface printing, which is yung parang tinatatakan, ano? For example, ngayon tinatatakan or t-shirt printing. Yan. Okay? So, ito'y madali lang naman gawin actually. Okay. So, ayan. Actually, hanggang dyan lang ang ating lesson, ano? So, masyado ko na talagang pinabilis. Okay. So, sabi ko nga, as I promised, na madali lang yung ating lesson. But, the thing is, ang surprising ating lesson na ito, actually, ito, marami pang continuation with regards to the artist and his medium. Oo, to be honest. Meron pa diyang may mga nakalagay pa dyan ng mga, we have the process of creating sculpture, architecture, media of architecture, literature and the combined arts, music, media and music and genre of music, dance and types of dance, drama and theater, and genre of drama, cinema, genre of motion picture, and people behind motion picture. So, yun ay kabilang doon sa the artist and his medium. Ngayon, ang didiscuss lang natin ngayon ay the process of art production and the different media of the visual art. So, dalawa lang. Instead na, ilan ito? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 na lesson under nung topic na the artist and his medium. Bakit? Kasi, we have very limited time para discussion. To be honest, if I'm going to discuss that to you, abutin tayo ng midterms. Okay? So, pero ang kagandahan naman ay yung mga term na ginagamit doon ay very basic lang. So, kaya nyo siyang unawain. And that is why I am going to just provide a handout na lang with regards to the remaining lesson under the topic of the artist and his medium. Pero kasama pa rin siya sa ating pinag-aaralan siyempre, ano? So, ayan. So, yun lang ang aking masasabi. So, kaya na rin binigyan natin ng focus ito kasi ito yung mismong gagawin ninyo. Visual arts, yung mga pagdodrawing, pagpipinta. Kaya yun ang masyado natin binigyan ng focus. Alright. So, ayan. Diyan nagtatapos ang ating lesson with regards to the artist and his medium. So, I hope you learned something new from this lesson again. You learned again something from this new lesson. So, thank you for listening, my dear student, and my dear listener na rin. No? So, have a nice day. God bless. And God bless.